Good evening, welcome to another week of Sports Week. We've got a big show ahead, plenty of special guests joining us in the studio and on the line. We're without our usual two regular panellists tonight, but filling the void is my former Cricket Show co-host David Bogue. Welcome, David.
Glad to be here, mate. Thanks for the invite.
Yes, been a long time since we've been on a panel together, but I'm sure we'll have a bit of fun tonight.
Looking forward to it, mate.
At the bar, bloke that calls himself probably Bundaberg's best sportsman of the last 10 years. Matthew Fleming, Bundaberg Cricket Association President. Matt, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you, Grillsy?
Think you're going to do a better job than Nimmo?
Oh, that's the plan. I don't know if I can do him physique-wise, but I'll try and do him better on the chat.
It's a pretty low bar.
Pretty
low. Well, better than Acker anyway. I'll try and do better than Acker.
Yes. Also joining us, Full BU breakfast announcer Victoria Clark. Welcome, Vic.
Thanks, Rhys.
How was your weekend of football finals? Just tune in.
Oh, I wish I could say I left with a smile on my face, Rhys, but I really didn't.
No, we'll get to that shortly. Very disappointing weekend for the Queensland teams. But joining us on the line from Sydney, Paul Cochrane. Welcome back, Paul.
G'day, Grillsy. Good to see everyone.
Yes, you and this bloke beside me have a fair bit of history and go back a long way, I believe.
Yeah, we do. Multiple premierships together, didn't we, Bogey? Might have taken out Flemmo. I just want to point out, Grillsy, I thought that role that Flemmo's filling tonight was for the funny person on the set. What's he doing?
He did say he was Trevor Marmalade the other week, I think.
So. Sharp already.
I'll tell you what, it's good to see some familiar faces on the show, guys. I've been tuning in from afar. You're doing a great job there, and Grillsy, wonderful to see you taking on the anchor role instead, mate. As someone in the media industry, I fear for the profession now, given how well you're going in the hot seat, big fella.
No, it's been a bit of fun, and David's helped me along the way, and we had a lot of fun last year, and I'm sure tonight will be the same. We'll kick off with our Grand Ridge Brewing Weekly Highlight. David, what caught your eye in the world of sport over the last 7 days?
I'm going a little bit different, Rhys. I'm going Ange Postecoglou. Not a big soccer fan, but obviously he's gaining a bit of momentum over in the UK. Robbie Williams is singing a song about him, and I saw some clips of him the other day that he's pretty dry with his sense of humour, and to the reporters, and I think England really appreciate his sense of humour, and they're going pretty well. So he's been to Celtic and Japan, where he had nobody that spoke English, so he's doing a really good job, and yeah, it's good to see an Aussie overseas just killing it over in the probably the biggest competition in the world. So
yeah, and there was a lot of people that were doubting him at the start of how he was going to go, and an Aussie in the EPL as a coach.
First Aussie ever, I think. So it's good to see an Aussie performing on the big stage.
Yeah, Paul, what caught your eye in the world of sport over the last 7 days?
Grizzy, I think we saw two of the great contests in the AFL and the NRL Grand Final. However, as a Brisbane supporter in both codes, I'm going to completely brush them for you right now. Because of the football in Melbourne on Saturday, horse racing took a Friday night hot seat in Melbourne. We saw two of the absolute superstars of the equine industry go around at Moonee Valley on Friday night. We saw Amelia's Jewel and we saw Imperatriz. These are two horses that we're going to see a lot of. We're coming into Spring Carnival. Amelia's Jewel, put it in your black book right now. Cox Plate front runner right there.
Righto.
There you go.
I watched a few of them races on Friday night, and there was some good horses getting about. So.
That didn't win, but
didn't do any good on the punt.
No,
I backed the ones that were behind them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Vic, what caught your eye?
Look, Rhys, I don't normally follow cricket, but there was, some great news this week with, the Aussies doing pretty well ahead of the one-day final that's coming up. And, I know they've had a pretty big, both the men and the women have had a pretty big season a couple of months ago as well. So it's been great to see that they're still, performing really, really well, especially against some pretty tough competition from, overseas as well. So.
Yeah, we spoke this time last week, and the Aussies had lost 4 one-day matches in a row, and they've beaten India in the 5th and had a good warm-up hit out against Pakistan on Tuesday night, and they're just sort of Glenn Maxwell reckons he's bowling the best the ball's ever come out, I read today. So, Paul, do you think there's a little bit more optimism there than when we were speaking a week ago?
Oh, gee, I don't know, Grillsy. I'll tell you what, though, last night, I sat and watched that last night, the warm-up game against Pakistan. Australia were, having a few hit and giggle sessions, to be honest. Steve Smith was rolling out some of the worst off-spin I've ever seen. if Steve Smith can get a go bowl on that custard stuff at international level, bogey, warm up, son. You will get a go. And Flemo, you will get a go from the other end, given what we saw from David Warner. David Warner went for 40-something runs in 2 overs, and I'm surprised it wasn't more. It was that bad. Look, these warm-up games have become an absolute joke. We've got blokes retiring hurt because they've had enough. They want to give someone else a bat. It really did. It wouldn't even happen in first grade in Bundaberg, boys. So, Flemo, you're steering a better ship than the ICC right now, my friend.
You beauty.
Flemo, you're eye catcher over the last week. Thanks to Grandma's Brewery.
Yeah, same as Dave, going a bit off course, but young Rocco Zakowski is a 7'3", 17-year-old who plays for the Brisbane Bullets. So if anyone watched up here when the Bullets come and played, he had a big impact, but he got his first 23 seconds in the NBL on Thursday night, and his first possession was a dunk, and then his second possession was a block on a guy trying to dunk it on him. So this kid is going up here. He's projected #1 draft pick in the 2025 draft. He's still growing, and he's a local Sunshine Coast kid who's staying in Brisbane to play his NBL. So, yeah, that was my highlight of this week.
Yeah, and the Bullets got a win.
And they got a win to kick us off. So, my old Bundy mate Stevie Catlin is going this way. So that's good.
Yeah.
What about you, mate? You got one?
Yeah, I got one. Mine's a little bit of a follow-up on last week. Last week I said that Lucy Hamilton received a Big Bash contract for this season.
Our favourite Hamilton.
By
a long way.
But she came out for Sunshine Coast Scorchers in Brisbane first grade on the weekend, scored 117 off 123 balls.
Okay.
Her maiden century in any form of cricket.
Yeah, it would be.
I heard. So, yeah. And Tara Staines, another good Wide Bay girl from over in the North Burnett, 50 off 54 in the same match. So, a couple of Wide Bay girls there showing the way.
So they play, 50 overs?
Yeah, 50 overs.
That's
cricket.
good for Lucy to bat time and obviously good innings.
Only hit 9 fours.
Yeah, well, she built an innings, which is probably sounded what they needed, and Tara Staines. So that's very good.
A couple of good young girls.
Well done, Lucy.
Doing the Wide Bay area proud. So I guess we got to kick off with the sore point of the weekend was the 2 grand final losses to both the Brisbane teams. But on the flip side, congratulations to the Penrith Panthers and Collingwood. But we'll just kick off with the AFL on Saturday. FOMO, as a Lions supporter, probably the result, it could have been a little bit more, but 4 points and the game was ebbed and flowed right to the end. And
yeah, mate,
on the game.
It was one of those games we didn't probably start off real well. Then we came back. I mean, credit to Collingwood, they had an extra 12, 13 shots on goal than what we did. And just at the end, we just lacked a bit of composure and gave away, some silly free kicks, which cost us. But, 4 points, it could have been, one more kick at the end, bit of a play-on call that no one heard or thought was going to get called, and, could have been a shot on goal to win the game. So, but, in the end, really, on the day, Collingwood were probably the better side, which is very hard for me to say. But, yeah, hopefully next year the boys can pick it up and keep going from there.
Yeah. Coggy, you would have sat down and watched this first bounce to bounce.
Yeah, I did, mate. Look, can I just say, I thought that was the best game of AFL or Australian rules football I've ever seen. I thought that it was outstanding. Skill level from every single player on the park was outstanding. I thought it was an exhibition of the game at the highest level. Unfortunately, for everyone probably tuning into this, with the exception of a few, we came out on the wrong end of the result, but I thought the skill level was outstanding. Flem, our point to sort of add on to what you were saying, I thought where we really let ourselves down was the goal we let in right on quarter time, the goal we let in right on half time. I remember sitting there thinking,
definitely,
gee, they're fundamentals you just can't have happen at elite level in particular. They come back to haunt you. 4 points being the result in the end. We gave up 12 points, but to add on to your point, we did come back. The goal that Zach Bailey kicked to get us back into the contest in that first quarter was outstanding. But matched in every way. The goal that De Goey kicked out of the goal square late when Collingwood were 10 points down was unbelievable. Still side bottom kicking one post high from 55 out. Who knew he had that in him? So an amazing contest. One that got away, but geez, I'll be having as much as I can on the Lions next year. They look like a team really on a good trajectory, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have pretty base of the fair squad. I think there was an announcement today that young Cockatoo is retiring, but I think base of their squad's going to be returning again. And if they can pick up Duday from Adelaide, be a pretty handy pickup too along the way.
Definitely. Yeah.
He'd be a real good get, but I just wonder where he's going to fit in the team. I saw that news today as well. I mean, that back line is really solid with Harris Andrews and, Jack Payne obviously was unavailable for the grand final.
Kitty and Coleman's really starting to hit his straps now.
Unbelievable final series. Unbelievable final series from Kitty Coleman. So, Tom Duday's not a walk-up start into that team. He's a great player at the moment, but he's not a walk-up start. Brisbane, right across the park, are really on an upward trajectory.
Yep. Definitely.
Equally as impressive for me, I've never watched an AFL game until Saturday, a full game. The way Chris Fagan spoke after the game, I think all the media absolutely love him, and Cocky, you could probably comment on that. Just the way he spoke about it, and then Craig McRae was equally as classy. And, having the baby girl Maggie at 7:45 that morning, he said it was already the best day of my life, and then to win the premiership. So those two coaches have obviously worked well with their players and they're good man managers, I would assume. And you can see why Collingwood and Brisbane Lion are so great, because they got two of the best coaches you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a nursery that Brisbane dynasty of the early 2000s has proved to be as well.
Yeah.
Craig McRae came out of that system. Chris Fagan, what a great story he is. He's a man who's never set foot on a AFL ground as a player, and yet has gone on to great heights. So I think that speaks volumes for anyone who's prepared to do the hard yards and make a career for themselves in an untraditional pathway, which is not coming through the player nursery, which so many of them do. But, gee, you look at that Brisbane Lions system of the early 2000s, there's been several people who have gone on to be, if not head coaches, great assistants.
Scott Brothers.
Names like, both the Scott brothers, Nigel Lapp and Craig McRae, as you said. Michael Voss has obviously had a great year with Carlton. Outstanding
Justin
people.
Leppich at the Pies.
Yeah, exactly. Good individual people, who obviously, Sydney often talked about this no dickheads policy. I think that was big at Brisbane, and no surprise that they were successful through it as well. A point about what you said there, Bogey, about how good Chris Fagan spoke. Look, I think Darcy Moore, the captain of Collingwood, if he could potentially be the best public speaker in this country. He is unbelievable. Memorable speech on Anzac Day to pay tribute to the Anzacs. I thought his speech after the game and the humility, and after he received the cup from his dad, what a great story that was as well. But he has been just a fantastic ambassador for the game for the last 2 years in the leadership role with the biggest club in the country in any sport.
Yep. Yeah, we move into trade week. Could be an interesting little period. A few big names to fight about to want to get shifted. I guess the biggest one that's came out in the last sort of 24 hours or so is Clayton Oliver.
Yeah,
he's sort of talking that he wants to leave Melbourne, about the way he was treated around that time he was injured. And
that's a massive call, because he signed like a 7-year deal.
Yeah,
and that's he's there, engine room too. Like, that's a big call. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and because there's going to be some compensation and some good pickups for whoever if they do go down that path.
I can't see him going anywhere. However, I can tell you, about 2 weeks ago, we got a few AFL guys in and around the office at work, and someone said to me, he said, watch Sydney. Sydney always land a big fish. They've just lost Buddy. It'll be one that no one sees coming. And when I saw that Clayton Oliver news today, I thought, oh, gee, I wonder if that could be it. I don't think he'll go anywhere. I think he's, that synergy with him and Christian Petracca, they've got unfinished business. Obviously won a flag together, but I can see that going somewhere. The one I'm really interested in is Bailey Smith at Western Bulldogs. There's a lot of talk about Hawthorn. He was a supporter, and there's photos of him as a kid, but he clearly is someone who hasn't been utilised properly at the Western Bulldogs, and I think he'll end up at a premiership contender as well.
Yeah, very much like Geelong. Sydney and Geelong always seem to they jag that big fish that you don't think they're going to get, and then next minute, bang. Yeah. So
like the Roosters, aren't
watch
they?
that space as well, I think, with Geelong.
We'll just see how that pans out in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to Sunday, we talk about the one that the Lions let slip. I think everyone in Queensland, or 95% of Queensland, thought the Broncos were home and hosed after 56 minutes and 18 unanswered points and got run over the top of by a red-hot Penrith side, led by Nathan Cleary, and there's been plenty of talk about immortality and he should be made an immortal. Well, I disagree with that at this stage of his age, but you talk about a great AFL Grand Final. In terms of for a football fan, it was a great NRL Grand Final too.
Yeah, devastating, of course, being a Bronco supporter from day dot. Followed them, the Walters boys since I was a kid, being from Ipswich, the same as them. And then to see young Ipswich kid Ezra Mann playing so well too, to be up and about, and then to, exactly. I think the first 15 minutes of the game probably took the gas out of him in the end. And they, those little things that you needed to do, they just couldn't get there to do it, unfortunately. And yeah, a lot of their blokes left their worst game till the last game of the year. A lot of guys didn't really stand up when they needed to.
Hard to watch in the end, wasn't it?
Don't we see funny things happen in big games, guys? Like big grand finals. Twice Penrith scored points off, short dropouts.
Yeah.
That didn't go to plan. And when have we ever seen a try scored off one of them to the opposition team?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're just saying, is this our night? But Ezra Mann, he was $1.04 after 56 minutes to win the Clive Churchill medal. $1.04, and he didn't get it. Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coincidentally, it was just as I turned the TV on that the Panthers made that big turnaround and cost us the game.
There we go.
Broncos fans, we've got someone to point the finger at.
Yep.
But we move in now to a bit of international stuff, and the news around the last couple of days of obviously Rhys Walsh and Dylan Edwards missing out, and Mel sticking with Tedesco at fullback, but the non-selection of Latrell Mitchell. But I think they've pretty well got it right. The Australian selectors have probably picked the best 20 blokes that are there and thereabouts at the moment.
You can't pick everyone.
No.
Yeah.
There's a plethora of fullbacks in Australia that will go down as some of the best fullbacks in the game, and I think Tedesco, he's been around a long time, and he's the incumbent and he's a captain as well, so he has to stay there, I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I don't have too many issues with it myself. If you're going off your last game, you wouldn't pick Walsh anyway. Edwards is stiff, but it's pretty hard, as you said, to take out the captain and from last year to lose his spot. Over. Yes, Edwards had a pretty good year, and so did Ponga, Dally M Player of the Year. But he's been off now for 3 weeks. So so is Tedesco, I suppose. But as you said, he's the incumbent, so not much to worry about there, I don't think. Latrell wasn't at his best. I don't think he played any good really all year. So he never got up for Origin. So just going back to your Cleary thing before, I have my thoughts about it the same. I think he's pretty lucky that he's in the right system to why he looks so good. He kind of gets to be able to do whatever he wants to do. His dad's a coach. It's not like he's going to get sacked. Yeah. So, if he wants to kick a 40-20 or chip and chase, he kind of is not going to get really in trouble. If that's Luke Brooks from the West Tigers, the media's all over him. But if it's Cleary, it's like, it's okay, he tried something, but, he gets away with it kind of thing. But I suppose all them boys have been together as a young group, all coming through that Penrith nursery, and they're all from around the same area. So eventually it's got to click for them.
But it's
also, I reckon if Luke Brooks was a halfback on Sunday night, Brisbane win that game, mate. So.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Oh yeah, I understand that, but that's where they're saying that he can do things. I think that he gets a lot more freedom to do than what some of the other halfbacks do that are still trying to work their way up and get their team off the bottom.
But it's also easier when you've played in 4 grand finals and you've won 90% of your games in the last 4 years and all these sorts of stats.
Yeah.
So,
you look at that 40-20, and if they show the vision right out, you can see Selwyn Cobbo on the wing where he's supposed to be, just standing in the line, just dawdling. He's not even trying to look like he's going to get back. They're going to the right-hand side. You got to be starting to work your way back, but he just was standing there, and then next minute, bang, there it is.
Whether he would have stopped it though, I think
he probably wouldn't have stopped it.
It was third tackle, so he should have been back a little bit. But I hate to say it, but Cleary,
Oh,
Everyone
good.
hates him because he's so good, and he turned that game around in that final.
I think losing Luai
it was a good thing for him.
And Isaiah Yeo made him actually have to
Yeah, he
take
had to do
over
it.
and play. Mate, he played like the old Wally Lewis from back in the day when everyone got injured. Wally just went, righto, let's go. I'm going,
And,
boys. Let's
immortality.
follow me.
He's got to do something in Origin, dominate like Joey Johns or Wally.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I think Wally Lewis got 8 man of the matches in State of Origin. So he's not there yet, but geez, he's on the way.
Well. He's going well.
If he keeps going the way he is, but.
I'll tell you what, guys, he's got a lot of the accolades, and rightly so. It takes someone to put the team on the shoulders and take them along for the ride. But gee, Stephen Crichton was enormous.
Yeah.
That try that he scored that got him back within range was incredible. And James Fisher-Harris, all these efforts that the flashy backs and the creative energy of a team, they need that grunt work. And the forward pack of the Panthers were outstanding when it mattered, and James Fisher-Harris really led the way there. His yardage and the things that go unseen, I think they took it a long way. Really took a lot of energy out of the Broncos through the middle of the park, gave Cleary space.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely.
Anyway, as we said, well done to both Penrith Panthers and Collingwood Magpies and their wins over the weekend. And I think it's about 160 days till round 1 next year. So the football fans will be counting down for round 1 2024. So, right, we're going to head to a break.
One in Vegas?
Straight to Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to head to our first commercial break. After the break, we're going to have a look at the rest of the sport around the region.
Rum City Foods stocks everything. Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
At Rose Consulting and Financial Services, they offer fast, tailored finance solutions for a range of equipment, from business vehicles to farming machinery. Find Rose Consulting and Financial Services on Facebook and LinkedIn. RCFS, making finance simple again.
Hello, welcome back to the show. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of around the grounds. We've got a couple of obscure sports to talk about here, David. A little bit of table tennis. Report we've had filed in. Bundaberg had plenty of success last weekend at the annual Bundaberg Special Olympics table tennis tournament.
Okay.
In record, a total of 28 players participated. 7 from Bundaberg, 9 from Brisbane North and 12 from Mackay. In the morning singles, Bundaberg players performed well across all divisions. Nick Jefferson continued his dominant performance in all competitions as he has attended this year, comfortably winning Division 1 without dropping a game. Hayden Bridgeland came in second in a countback of games as Corey Hansen and Stuart Gordon from Brisbane all won in excellent matches for them. 12-year-old Oscar Quarrell when the point of winning Division 2, but was edged out in his final singles by his Mackay opponent, who won 13-11 in the deciding game. Taylor Sim played well, became 4th in that division.
And Bundaberg's other singles winner was Chris Cater in Division 6, carrying on his very good Special Olympics tournament results and underlining his tremendous improvement throughout the year. Gordon Albrecht and Rian Bonnell picked up minor places in their divisions. Following lunch, the players were grouped together for a bit of doubles competition. Nick Jefferson, with his Brisbane partner, made it 2 wins for the day with another strong performance in Division 1. Chris Cater also claimed a second victory for the day, winning the Division 3 doubles. Oscar Quarrell came second in Division 1 with Corey Hansen, while Hayden Bridgeland and Taylor Sim came 4th, with Gordon and Rian came 3rd in Division 2 and 3 respectively. So a fair bit going on there.
Yeah, good weekend, and a few of the visiting teams hung around for the weekend to catch a bit of the Bundaberg hospitality. So well done to those guys. And in volleyball, Bundaberg sent a side away to the to the state championships on the weekend. And finished in the top 10. And the Bundaberg Volleyball Association has a new competition kicking off shortly. So get involved, and I'm sure if you find them through Facebook, you'll find some sort of volleyball. So
we have Jaden Santa Catarina, who a good cricketer, he plays volleyball. He's about 8 foot tall, so volleyball's a pretty popular sport.
Yeah, so no, well done to those guys on their state championships on the weekend. So if you do have any obscure sports, or we will cover just about anything, so around the Bundaberg region, drop in a line to Wide Bay ITV and we'll cover it on Sports Week.
And talking about table tennis, Dave Delprat, he runs a show out there, and I know a lot of schools. We've got Friday Inter-School Sport starting next Friday, and Dave's he's very active in the community, and the kids love going out there for a bit of table tennis, so yeah, he does a good job. So well on the Dave and the crew out there.
Okay, it's competition time. Vic, what do we got?
Yes, Rhys, we've got a big one. We all like free stuff, or at least I do. This one's brought to us by Sports Week, Heavenly Holidays and Grand Ridge Brewery. So we've got a $5,000 voucher to go towards accommodation at any of the luxury homes owned by Heavenly Holidays in locations across Queensland and Victoria. Now, to enter the competition and to find out where these homes are precisely located, all you've got to do is go to the competition tab at any of our local channels and enter your details, and you're in the draw to win. Now, if you do win, Grand Ridge Brewery are going to celebrate personally for you by throwing in 2 cases of their award-winning beer and Twisted Sister cider. And, that's already a pretty good deal, but it's not the only thing that we've got here. We've also got 10 $20 vouchers to Freshfields Bakery, but these bad boys are only going to members of the audience here live on Sports Week. So if you do want to be a part of the audience and part of the banter, part of the conversation, part of whatever else is getting thrown around at the time here on Sports Week, all you got to do is reach out to us at Wide Bay ITV, and you're going to be earning one of these little vouchers on top of it all as well. So that's what we're going on in competitions at the moment, Rhysy.
Righto, sounds good. Holiday would be nice, wouldn't it, David? You'd be looking forward to one of them by next term of school.
Oh, are you starting the school teacher jokes? You're picking on me.
Be middle of November somewhere.
Yeah,
be ready
we've got
to
another
knock
few
up.
weeks before holidays.
The boat will be serviced.
Good. Holidays, beer and bread.
Yeah.
Just what we need, Grillsy.
No. Right, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. Coming up after the break, we're joined at the desk by Better Heat's Chris Napper and Headlands Pies' Jesse Richardson. We'll see you soon.
Our programs are made by the very heartbeat of our town. It's our people that make our programs about us and what we do. From an early morning Anzac Day service to local sport, lively conversation about the game, to local music and the food we grow. Our people watch our locally made programs starring us and what we do. Your business can reach our audience in several very cost-effective ways. To find out how, send us an email or call for a no-obligation chat.
Hi, welcome back to the show. Okay, it's time to talk a little bit of local cricket. Joining us, our special guests, Jesse Richardson from Headlands Pies and East Cricket Club. Welcome, Jess.
Thank you, good to be here.
And Chris Napper from Better Heat and North Cricket Club, and also spent the weekend away at the Wide Bay Flames up in Cairns. How are you, Chris?
Good, thanks, Rhys.
We'll kick off with the weekend. 1 out of 3 for the result for the weekend. A little bit probably disappointing.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing. A couple of positives at least out of the weekend. Bowlers always did the job. That seems to be the Wide Bay sort of way. The bowlers tug away and hit their lines and lengths, and the batsmen unfortunately quite can't get it done. Nathan Van Eekeren standing up pretty much every game with the ball. Sam Pearson having a really good weekend as well. In terms of Bundy boys, Hayden Pope chipping in with a couple of wickets. And then, a couple of Gympie boys, Brenton Polson, Trent Riddell, Callum Stitt, all chipping in with the bat where they can. So, tremendous time up there.
Yeah, first game Friday night, Wide Bay Flames 9 for 90, chased down by Far North Fusion 2 for 94. Took about 17 overs. You said the bowlers probably another 20 or 30 probably makes a difference in the game.
Yeah, their bowlers hit lines and lengths, doing a bit with the ball, and I think AFL finished up about 2 weeks before the pitches, so there's a little bit in it for the bowlers when they're hitting that sort of back of a length, and then a bit unlucky. First ball, Nathan Van Eekeren hitting probably middle of middle, going down leg. So that was an unfortunate start. That could change things, but a little bit of luck, half chances going our way, different result as well.
Yeah. Then Saturday afternoon, 9 for 102, Darling Downs. As you said, Nathan Van Eekeren with 4 for 12 and Sam Pearson 4 for 24. But you guys got the win on the very last ball.
Very last ball, Brenton Polson putting it over mid-off. Really sort of came down to the wire there, and a bit of an exciting finish. I know Gillsy wanted that done a little bit sooner maybe, but it was still good to at least come away with the win in that game. So yeah, really good from our bowlers to set it up again.
And what did you need off the last ball?
We needed, I think, 3 to tie the game and 4 to win, something like that.
Hit the boundary.
And he hit the boundary to win it.
That's an exciting finish.
Yeah.
I think everyone was tuned into the AFL by this stage. No one was watching the cricket.
Yeah, I think it was about 60 apiece. So then we got off to the field, and it was getting pretty close to the wire. All held around the TV.
Yeah, and then Saturday night, Mackay with Sunday Nitros 3 for 174. The Wide Bay could only manage 7 for 124 in return, so probably capped off although Mackay did go on to make the semi-finals. So.
They did. One of those games where every sort of half chance went over someone's head by half a foot, or it was hit in between a gap where it was in between the 2 deep fielders and the guy in the circle. So they had one bat that sort of chanced his arm and made a really good dig of it and made us pay. Yeah.
And we don't like to sledge blokes, but there was an over by David Lever that I believe went for 32.
I think it was a Wide Bay record in an over potentially.
Where's
T20.
he from? Oh, was he the Harvey Bay lad?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked good in the warm-ups, and then Ritters gave him we'll have a bit of a gamble here. Looked all right. First ball was in one of those gaps, and then just went downhill from there. So
never mind.
No.
Oh well.
And then Sunday, the semi-finals, CQ Seamers defeated Mackay with Sunday Nitros, and Far North Fusion defeated Sunshine Coast Scorchers. So FNQ and CQ will play in the final at the Gabba on the 27th of December. So 2 North Queensland teams there.
Yeah,
I
think.
Again.
Who was Jimmy Marr tied up with? Far North.
Far North.
He was pretty excited. Playing a fair bit of cricket in Mackay over the years. They've been fairly strong for a while as well. So, and it's a good incentive for them to go out and play on the Gabba, probably before a Brisbane Heat game. I think they play on the Gabba. So well done to those guys. And Far North seem to be quite strong at the moment, haven't they? And they've been like that for a number of years. So it's good experience. It's a long way to go for 3 games, isn't it, Nap? So
it is, but it's still good experience playing on different grounds against some really good competition.
You guys had Carl Rackerman as your mentor for the week. How'd you find Carl?
Carl was good. Chimed in where he needed to, and he was good throughout the weekend. Some handy little bowling tips for some of the bowlers out there, and plenty of stories from back in his day facing all the sort of express bowlers or all the West Indian blokes, having conversations about that. So he was really good, Carl.
Good mixture of a team for the Wide Bay boys. You got some of the other blokes have been there a while, and then young Harry Sipple, and I know Nathan Roderick from South Burnett. He was in the team but had to pull out. I think he had a touch comp. So good blend. So moving forward, hopefully. It's a good experience for those guys, and Wide Bay can only be better and better.
And it's a real good initiative. I don't know, Cocky, I don't know if you catch much of what the Bulls Masters and Queensland Cricket do with this country challenge stuff, and what are those ex-Bulls blokes and that link up with the country guys, and it's a really great incentive.
Oh, it is. I look on at it really envious, to be honest. When Bogey and I were and Flemmo were trying to do our thing, geez, it would have been fantastic to be part of. I mean, I think T20 suits some people's game, and and probably, maybe Bogey and myself might have fallen into that category a little bit more than trying to grind out a 4-dayer. Just a point on Carl Rackham. I'm tipping it wouldn't have been a dry trip if Knocker was your mentor.
No, there was certainly a few beverages to be had, and Carl still knows his way around a bottle of a red, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say he would have been given some good off-field tips as well, I'd say.
Who was Peter Drennan with? Because he used to be a bit with the Wide Bay.
I think Drenno's with the CQ
He doesn't
boys
drink
off the top
at
of my
all.
head.
I'm not sure whether he drinks too much at all. He likes his cup of tea. He's a Bundy boy, so his mum would come out and have a cup of tea with him at Soldiers Oval. So
it is a pity, but from our perspective of Wide Bay, that we can't get our best side to go away. Like, there's so many guys that could really be better for Wide Bay up there. No disrespect to the guys that play, but if you're taking someone like Ryan Norton and even Arden, that helps that team out so much more. But we just can't seem to get, every other venue organisation seems to get their best team to go, but we can't seem to get it. Even when we had them here, we couldn't get our best team to play all the time. And I know it's tough because you're coming off 2 weeks after footy seasons and stuff like that, and blokes aren't ready or they want to go on a holiday. But yeah, you know, it'd be so good if we could just get I know there's a few blokes down Harvey's Bay as well that played Aussie rules this year that are fair good cricketers from what I understand, but they didn't want to go either. You know, they talked it up, but they didn't want to go. Like, it'd be so good if we could just get our best Wide Bay team, you know, the guys that play, to go and really have a good crack at it, and for guys to go, I want to actually go and have a crack, not just go, it's going away for 3 days, or we're going to get flogged. Like, that's not the attitude we need to have. You know, we need to be going, let's go away and try and win this thing. Because I think we could. I think with our best Wide Bay side around the region, we could get, you know, a good side out of this.
Say that because the guys, they're not far off.
No, that's right. We're not far off. It's like we said, one or two guys, like you said, you got to have guys, and unfortunately, like we know in 2020, you got to have guys that can just hit the ball over the fence from day dot. And, you know, that's your Ryan Nortons and your Ardens who can probably do that for you. You know, and
Jaden Bond, another one.
Bondi,
that comes to mind.
you know,
those 3 additions.
Great. So it would be. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, good job to the boys. You know, held their head
and
high.
Wide Bay look towards the Schaefer Shield moving forward, and hopefully we can get the result there against Scorchers and those SEQs. So all right, tomorrow night the Aussie Bundy Big Bash kicks off season 6. Two T10s double header. Jess, I'll throw to you first. Playing T10 cricket for the first time. How do you think it'll go, and what do you think will be sort of each of the sides' way to take on the game?
Oh no, I'm excited for it. It's obviously it's new form and a faster game, shorter game. It's better for me, but it's going to be interesting to see how the teams take it. Like, do you go out and go hard and try to get to 120, or do you run your 2s and 3s and try to defend 80 or 90? Like, it's
I don't know.
120, 130 wins a T20 here, most nights. So, you don't need to get that, obviously, but it'll be interesting to see.
What are your thoughts, Chris? What do you think?
I'm expecting a lot of wickets, probably more from the fact that everyone's just going to go hard from ball one. So I think there's going to be plenty of chances for all the bowlers. So I think all the bowlers are going to be really happy at the end of the night, and it's just going to take that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think there's going to be that one knock of 30 or 40 off about a run of ball that's going to win it, I think, for one of the sides.
As a batsman, it's more freedom. If you get out trying to have a go,
that's right.
No one's getting up you for it.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. You guys wouldn't have played a T10 at all, hey?
No.
I used to live in Mackay. We used to go to the early 7s. I think it was 7 aside. It was only 6 overs. It's over and done with really quickly. Yep. If you have one bloke that bats well, you can win the game off the back of them. Yeah. So
across the waves, we went to Mackay about 3 years ago, and it was meant to be a T20, but it was rain, and they got reduced to 8 over games.
Okay.
Just to get the amount of games through. They only had one field going, and it was a bit different. It'll be there'll be plenty of action for the crowd, I'm tipping.
And I guess the other beauty of it,
I think there might be more, like Chris said, it's going to be a bit for the bowlers, because as we know, it's a fresh wicket block, hasn't been used yet. It's going to be hard, but there might be a bit of grass on it, so I reckon there's going to be some, if you can hit your right spots and get a little bit of nibble out there, I reckon, especially a couple of boys, some boys have had 2 weeks off now, some blokes 3 weeks off. So guys coming in with not a lot of centre wicket practice. So it could be interesting, and for me personally as well as trying to, as the president, this is going to be hopefully a really good initiative. Try and get everyone there, big crowd. Hopefully lots of balls going over the fence.
Yeah, I think having the 4 franchises there is one of the big positives of it, and I think if you have 2 or 3 dots in a row, then the 4th ball, the batsman's going to go hard. So it'll be interesting to see
indoor cricket style
how the boys play it. Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery to everyone. Like probably when T20 started, no one knew what to do. So should be very, very interesting. And as Nap said, the bowlers, they're in it with a chance every single delivery to get a wicket.
Yeah.
But Jeremy from Brothers is always whinging that it's a batter's game, so he can stop whinging about that now.
It's always a bowler's game. Always a bowler's game.
And what are you going to do in the case of bad weather that, is supposed to be heading this way the next couple of days.
Don't jinx us, Victoria.
Victoria.
We haven't had rain for 6 months. Don't bring it on this week, please.
Usually we bring the rain when it's grand final time,
Yeah.
or semi-final side. So,
Or someone keeps the sprinklers on cocky for an extra night, eh?
Oh, mate, only when brothers are in front and across the waves of the opposition, mate, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I
don't know where I
guess,
got that from, but
so Jesse made the move, or got drafted back to the Pies.
Yeah.
Excited.
who flicked him? Who didn't want him?
Maybe the Heat.
The Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we gave him
wow.
the flick.
Yeah.
That's
I think they
rough.
blame me for not winning the grand
you
final
guys-
last year.
Arden flicked you, mate.
Yeah, they weren't real happy with me, I don't think.
You
So I
guys
should've
were
got the
looking to
job
go
done.
3 in the trot, well, even though I've been part of the first 2 with myself, but 3 in the trot is the talk.
Oh, it's going to be good. Definitely, if we win this one, it's going to feel like we were part of the first 2, I think. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Bit of a couple missing tomorrow night in Mitch Parsons and Jaden Santa Catarina.
Yeah, big losses, but
sure.
you know, we got lads there that can fill their spot definitely. So, you know, hopefully come out with the firing with the bat and ball. So,
Yeah. Grand final replay taking on the Heat.
yeah, on the other side.
Do you think there'll be a bit of wordy words, bit of verbal?
Oh, I've already heard a couple of rumours that there's going to be a bit of chat thrown, but yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I think everyone's going to be up and about the whole new T10, so everyone's going to be in a good mood, positive attitude. So,
Yeah.
Probably brings teams closer together.
Yeah.
In my opinion, on paper, the Heat and probably tackle vans are best on paper. But when you shorten the game, anyone can win a game. So
it's turned into a game where more chance of one player winning the game for you.
yeah, so
You know, one person performs.
good concept. So who brought that in? Was Blamo going to take the glory for that initiative or what?
No,
You.
no, that's all Grillsy, that one.
All Grillsy?
He
Yeah,
made
so-
up that thing, and pretty much whatever he kind of decides, I just agree with anyway.
Oh, okay. And as you said, you got the 4 franchises there. You'll have 4 lots of supporters, and
Yep.
I don't know whether did you want to mention the other fundraiser that's on at the night?
Oh yeah, on the night we a few of us know that there's a fundraiser for Brett Holden, who's a local sports identity around the town. He's come into a bit of ill health in the last. So a group of people have got a big fundraiser organised for him over in the BRL pavilion underneath over there. So there's going to be a big crowd over there as well. I think I read at the moment there's about 150, 160 people that have said that they're going, so that could push out to about 200. Hopefully they don't get hit by any cricket balls over there, so hopefully they're going to be, I've warned them to be on point to make sure they don't get hit, but it's a really good initiative for him. From what I understand, there's lots of good prizes, signed rugby league jerseys and stuff, so they'll be doing raffles over there as well. So if anyone from the cricket wants to go over there and
Sneak
help out,
over.
more than happy for them to go over there and buy a raffle ticket and so forth. But try and keep as much money in the BCA as they
Spread the
can. We've got a big new canteen
I
for
was gonna
tomorrow
say
night.
that.
Yeah.
Is he going to take the rap for the Indian out there as
No,
well? 'Cause
no.
I screenshotted that and sent it to my wife because she goes, cricket. I said, there's good quality Indian food out there.
Yeah, so it's
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's
Eggs does a
what do
good
we
job.
got? Butter chicken and rice, chicken chow mein.
There's 4 different dishes. don't worry,
Yeah,
I've
it's homemade
got it.
Indian spring rolls, and all this is all made from scratch, and it is
Yeah, true.
proper Indian
Can
tucker.
load
Yeah,
up,
so
yeah.
get out
do you
there
reckon,
and
Jess?
I can confirm that.
yeah, Jesse would know.
I would know.
The lady who does it does our footy canteen, and it just
Okay.
walks
That's
out the door.
Nothing better than walking off the footy field to a butter chicken, I tell
Oh,
you.
yeah?
Yeah. So get out there and then get some of that India.
That's
Yeah.
going to be a highlight.
Oh yeah. Probably be more highlight than the cricket, hopefully. But you never know.
Chris, just on the Heat, how are you guys shaping up for tomorrow night? All good to go?
Yeah, I think
Full
we'll be
squad?
ready. Missing 1 or 2. Arden's overseas on his European holiday, so he'll be out, unfortunately. I think Nick DeLacy's also on out, and Sam Pearson, so a little bit of quality and experience.
Sammy's
out from what I hear. So
Okay.
that means there's more opportunities for other boys to stand up. So I think we'll still get the job done and I look forward to Artie Richardson getting Jesse Richardson out. I can see that potentially happening. So,
Oh, no,
does that mean you only got
you
11
won't hear the
naps?
end of it, mate.
Bear 11.
Yeah,
I
Bear
think,
11,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
No chance.
So that game kicks off at 8 o'clock, but the earlier game at 6:30 is Vikings versus Taipans.
Yep.
And David, you're still managing director, or what's your position at the Taipans this year?
I'll just call myself guidance officer.
Guidance officer.
Yeah. I don't want too much
Is that to help
responsibility.
Krebsy?
To help Krebsy, yeah. Braden will be there. We'll
Yeah.
give a shout out to Braden. Yeah, I think our team's looking pretty good. In the auction night, I know you
You've got
discussed it
Chris
a while.
Duff, Mitch Waters, Luke Solano as your retained players, and then the three young guns there. Three quality players, young Marshman, Toby Lamond. And Toby Lamond back yet? How's he travelling? With
he's
his
got
injury?
good movement. The infection's gone, but he'll be out for another month, I'd say,
Yeah.
mate. So I'm looking forward to Trent Seeds, who Jess plays with, and we've got Jaden Bond, and it'd be exciting to see how those boys go. And been sledging Ollie at home. My son, he's a Vikings boy, so I know. I think they're full strength. Scotty Irwin's playing, and Eric Peterson. There's a bit of chat going on in that group, so that'll be exciting to see how we go there.
Yeah. Adam Posibon back at the Vikings, Jess. He could be a bit of a danger man there, especially in 10 overs. 10 overs probably suits Adam.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
No running. No running for Pos.
He's not going to change how he plays anyway.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
No. Coggy, have you seen much of T10 cricket? Obviously, we all watch the European Cricket League on Fox. It's one of the talking highlights, and they get a lot of good social media things come out of that sort of cricket. But have you seen much other T10 cricket around the world at all?
Yeah, little bits and pieces of it. I thought an interesting point was made before. 20 years ago I was playing cricket in England, and T20 was kicking around, and it was sort of this, what is this? The same concept. We didn't know how to go about it. What's a good score? How do you build an innings? Do you go hard from the top? And it was all those key learnings. And now, obviously, 20 years on, it's just, it's part of the cricket fabric. We know, you just literally can, you're trying to put 200 on where possible, and then pair it back from there. I think one of the key questions is going to be, like was raised before, what is a good score? How do you go about it? I mean, sometimes the shorter games in a rain format at any level that you see on TV are some of the more intriguing, because that question really is the unknown. How hard do you go? Having 10 wickets in the tank is it does give you a bit of a license though, and it's exciting cricket. I think I hope a lot of people get out there and watch it. Certainly as someone who still looks fondly on the product there, back where I call home. I mentioned the word envy about the rep program before, and this is one that I certainly wish I was part of. I think it would have been fascinating to be part of it, and a lot of fun midweek, in particular, to get out there under those lights. I hope the lights are a bit better though. Geez, it was like being Stevie Wonder out there back 20 years ago when I was there. I think the BCA should absolutely be applauded. You're certainly setting a new standard when it comes to regional sport, and not just in Queensland, but right across the country, I think.
Yeah, no, there was a better $1.4 million upgrade about 18 months ago completed, so no, the lights certainly are a lot better than when you were here, Paul.
And I think whoever wins a toss, in my opinion, will bowl first.
Yeah.
Then when you've got 10 overs, you know what you're chasing. You have to go hard. You can afford to lose a wicket and over. I think batting first, as Paul just said, it's just unknown what a good score is. So, maybe in another couple of seasons we'll have a fair idea. But I would suggest that captains would win the toss and bowl. Yeah. We'll see what happens there.
And I bet you guys playing the second game would be a little bit more, this is how we can do it.
A little bit more of a template of how things might sort of look, and get a bit of a feel of how things might play out.
Yeah.
I think what'll be fascinating globally is if 10 over cricket does catch fire, and it becomes more of a product that people embrace. And we've seen attention spans, and how many kids are more gravitating towards those short, fast twitch fibre kind of activities now. That let's hope that 20 overs doesn't become the Labor project that 50 overs has become, and 10 overs becomes the vogue, because the skill set doesn't get the opportunity to be shown off as much in a 10 over format that it does at 20, but certainly not at 50 as well. I was only having this conversation with someone in the last couple of days. I think this World Cup that we're about to embark on, which starts tomorrow night, I don't think one single country that's involved can hand on heart say that it's been a priority project for the last 4 years, unlike it was for England 4 years ago, where they set about the 50 over game and built a format and a template to be able to go after that trophy. It is the one trophy in world cricket, which is the World Cup, and yet no one's prioritised it because 20 over cricket and Test cricket have certainly become the priority from a cash perspective as well. It'll be interesting if 10 over cricket catches fire. Does 20 over cricket lose a little bit of its appeal? So I think it's a watch this space over the next few years internationally with this particular product. So well done to the VCA for embracing it at an early stage.
Yeah, no, it should be a good night, and as I said, hopefully we get a pretty good crowd out there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Hang around, guys. We're going to preview all the rest of the weekend's fixtures. Straight commercial break.
Rum City Foods stocks everything. Paul's milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. It's time to preview everything that's happening around rounds this weekend. We'll kick off with a bit more cricket. Division 1, you guys east, Jess, taking on Brothers. David, where are you this week, David? Ones or the twos?
Looks like I've been demoted to Div 1, mate.
Demoted to Div 1?
We can work our way up to Div 3, apparently, Scotty Lamont says. So, yeah, we've got, I think we've got 3 out. Jeremy Haxmer, Jaden Santa Catarina and Mitch Parsons, school sport, maybe. Yep. So that's, Mitchie kind of won the game off his own back last week. So we've got 2 Marshman boys return to town. So Bo and Pat are going to play, I think. And, I think you got Arden missing.
Yeah, Arden's missing, but we got Ollie coming in, Ollie Horn.
Okay, so tell us about Ollie.
I think I might leave that for Saturday.
Well, tell us a bit. He's a young Englishman that you guys got over.
Young Englishman.
Good initiative.
Yeah, he's already helping out with our juniors and stuff, which is real good. I only met him for the first time at our training tonight, so.
Okay.
But real good bloke, and nearly took my head off tonight too.
Okay.
So.
Strong accent.
Eighth. I can understand him.
I'm more worried about him trying to understand like Eric Peterson.
Oh, Eric. Yeah, that'll be full on, I think.
Yeah, I think it's good this year. Pies seem to be a lot stronger with Arden going back from Brothers and then picking up a POM. So, and North struggled last year. So hopefully they can be strong. And you want a nice, strong competition for evenly poised teams. So looking forward to the battle this weekend with this guy. We'll see how we go.
Yep. And the other game, Cross the Waves take on North. North, Chris, 2 losses to start the season. Every time we seem to get to around last year, you're coming off a loss, but you're shaping up, obviously hoping to get a lot stronger and start this week against Waves.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we can hold 6 catches in slips across 2 weeks, we might be looking a little bit better. Instead, 2 blokes wouldn't have scored hundreds potentially. So, that helps. But I think we'll shape up a little bit better, and we still got a couple of boys to come back. I know Blyton's coming back eventually with a bit of work on right now. Joshy Winnan as well, he's a couple of weeks away with a bit of family stuff on right now. So there's still definitely some improvement with some blokes to come back, and then hopefully some of the boys that are already here can keep stepping up on a week-to-week basis.
Yep. No, good luck for the weekend. As you said.
Where are you?
2s.
Okay.
That's where I'll be staying.
Okay.
Unless I go to 3s.
Yeah.
No first grade.
Wherever I need him on a Saturday to go, that's where he's playing. If I need him at Kendall's, he's playing thirds down there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So speaking of Division 2, Cross the Waves take on Brothers and East take on ISIS. East won both their games to kick off the season, so those guys, they're looking like they've got a really strong side. I know you played Division 2 the other week, Jesse?
Yeah, I didn't do anything, but I was there.
You were there.
It was good to get a first win of the season anyway, but they got a good core group there.
Yeah, they do. A lot of those guys are returned from last year.
Yeah.
And you got Roderick Jensen and co. You got a bit of experience, Dave Bonza,
yeah,
and a couple of young fellas. I think Tommy Chadwick's playing a bit. So Yeah, I think East probably in Div 2 look like they've got probably the strongest team on paper. And what, Waves up against Brothers, is it?
Yeah.
What's your tip? You said you were going to bowl bounce. Is that what you're telling me before the show? You're going to bowl some rapids?
No, there's not much rapid coming out of me these days.
There hasn't been a bouncer out of Grillsy for 30 years.
Well, that's what he said before the show. He's gone quiet now. He's gun shy.
In Division 3, we've had the addition of an extra side this year, well, this week I should say. It's only come out in the last couple of days, but North's take on Brothers, Isis take on East White, and Waves take on East Black. So a lot of those guys come back and joining with the YMCA guys. A few of those guys have sort of been a bit of a side. And junior cricket returns. There was a lot of keen youngsters out there. You probably got a few at school that are champing at the bit to get out on the field.
I've got young Hayden Kinkton who plays for Across the Waves. He's been coming to school with the cricket ball. He's very keen, and young Fletcher Rayner. So, it's hard for the juniors when the seniors have actually started. We've had 14s and 16s coming out to watch seniors. They must be bored, so they'll be super pumped. And I think there's a lot of under 12 side, which is promising. And I think some of the time slots, 12B, there's 2 time slots. I don't know, 7:30 and 9:30 or something like that. So as you've got written there, there's 6 teams in 16s, 7 teams in the 14s, and 12A, 7 teams and 9 teams in under 12B. So probably more junior teams than we've seen for a long time. So very, very good.
And obviously the addition of Maryborough and Harvey Bay are returning in the under 14s and 16s as well. So.
Our mate Kalen Barr and Kay.
Sure he'll be up for a big season again, Kalen.
I think the juniors are bursting at the seams to get out and play a bit of cricket, especially with all the league and the soccer. Most of the soccer finished, so good luck to all the juniors and all the coaches and parents and managers and all the junior coordinators that we've gathered together. So should be good times. And contrary to what Victoria said, it's going to be a lovely warm day.
And also in Bundaberg on Sunday, the Ward Taverners side taking on Redlands, Solder Oval, 10 o'clock start, coming off of a very disappointing 10-wicket loss last weekend to Sandgate.
Rolled for 84.
84, chased none down. So
got a few Bundy boys in there, haven't we? River Felstead and Lockie Haycox.
Sam Stutchbury.
Sammy Stutch. Aidan White.
Aidan White's got a game this week. Aidan hasn't played. Aidan's been called into wicket keep.
Okay,
he hasn't played a game yet. So
it's good quality cricket out there. Probably better than you'll see in Div 1 out here, to be fair. So
I hope they last a bit longer than 84.
Yeah, thinking about the canteen.
If you get a chance, get out and stick to those guys.
Canteen
and I guess the other cricket on the national scene is the third T20 between Australia and the West Indies. We saw the other day. What was her name? Steph Matthews?
Hayley Matthews.
Hayley Matthews.
Yeah.
Scored that magnificent 132 at North Sydney Oval. And, gee, if you caught it, it was fair innings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, did you say she got 99 the day before?
Yeah, 99 the day before and then 130. She's won 5 player of the matches in a row or something.
Yeah.
She made Australia look like she was playing under 12s, stepping back and hitting over cover. Yeah. I was in awe. Yeah. What do you think, Paul? Cocky?
Well, I was going to say, Cocky, do you think that there's
They did drop her, but on about 60 an easy one at cover.
Well, I was going to say, Cocky, do you think that there's that divide is short, like Australia dominated for so long in the women's game? Do you think they're these other nations are closing the gap on Australia?
Yeah, the world's catching up. Hey, before I get to that, Grillsy, you've talked about Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, juniors. Is this the Masters section there you got to me, is it? Is that what we've got to? The world's definitely catching up, and that was always going to happen. Australia was so dominant for so long. Watch England. I think England's the team that are making giant strides in the women's game. But, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Hayley Matthews, 99 not out one day and comes out 2 days later and gets 134 to win the game straight after that. Isn't it good when the West Indies are good? And it's sad. We're not going to see the West Indies in this current 50 over World Cup because they simply didn't qualify. They got beaten by a team like Scotland. Now, we can look at that 2 ways. That shows that some of the emerging nations are obviously coming through the qualifying system. But, anyone who grew up in our era, Bogey and Flemmo knows what the West Indies were and, what they... what's possible in the island nations. It's a sad decline that we're not seeing them in the World Cup.
Yeah.
definitely.
Fair call.
Yeah. So no, that should be a cracking match. With one game to go, and I think they go into some one-day cricket after that. So the other sport that's happening in Bundaberg on the weekend is the Across the Wave soccer guys or football guys taking on Surfers Paradise Apollo in the Football Queensland Champions League final
At home.
at Across the Wave. So that should be a ripping game. 7:30 out at Across the Wave Sport Grounds. Saturday night.
Okay.
So
Up at the complex.
Sorry.
Yeah, up at the complex, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
to Beaver Street. Yeah.
So that should be a fantastic game. Surfers Paradise side actually won the Football Queensland Division 1 in Brisbane. So if you want to see some good football, get out there to Across the Waves on Saturday night, and that should be a big crowd, and hopefully the local boys put up a bit of a fight.
They've been going
That's the
all right
first
though,
time
haven't
that's
they?
happened in quite a while, isn't it?
Yes.
That Bundy's.
That the Bundaberg side
Come
has
this far,
made
yeah.
it this far. So they were the country champions, so they take on the City Slickers.
Okay.
So there's the best side from...
Just couldn't win the local grand final.
No.
UPE boys.
Oh, they're coming good now. They're right.
Yeah. Hey, Grillsy, just while we're on, a bit of an update from Acker and Nimmo, as we know, are down playing the Queensland Masters over 45s AFL at the moment. They've just played their game tonight and they beat Tassie 77-6.
Oh,
So I haven't got any stats to see if any of them went any good, but they won in their second game now. So they beat WA on Sunday. So obviously the boys are having fun. I've seen a few messages from them over the last few days, and they are having a pretty good time.
I'm sure any of those Masters trips are a good few days away with a lot of blokes that have got the same ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's hitting the pub tonight, I reckon.
Yeah, they will be.
Won't be Tasmania, I wouldn't suggest.
Oh no, they still will be because it'll be warm.
Drowning in
For better or
sorrows.
worse.
Yeah.
All right, well, that just about wraps us up. Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Chris, for coming in. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Man of the bar, Femo, thanks very much for stepping in.
No worries. Cheers.
You might have to fight Nimmo for that spot back.
It's easy done.
Yes. Victoria, thanks again. Wonderful job as always.
Tune in on 1332 for BU weekdays, mornings, or don't.
Tune in. Coggy, thanks very much for joining us down the line there in Sydney. We'll talk soon.
Thanks for having us, guys. And
Thanks,
must
Coggy.
say, really envious. Gee, I wish I was getting around a brand new cricket season and a new format there at Solder Oval. It'd be fantastic. I don't think the body would keep up, but the head's still willing.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, we'll talk soon. David, thanks very much for stepping in the host chair, and hopefully we get you back during the year
Thanks,
at
mate.
some stage.
Thanks for having me.
Rightio. All right, that's all we've got time for on Sports Week. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.